Hi guys, how you doing? I hope you're doing great. It's Ike Greatest here bringing you the weekly market outlook, So let's just jump right into the chart. Let's see what the market is doing. It's Tuesday and 15th July 2025. You do have some fundamentals, the market actually, the news already moved. We had CPI coming through. You can see right here, we had the CPI for USD. This is the weekly time frame. We are clearly on a downtrend. The market is just creating lower lows and lower highs. On the daily time frame, we are still on a downtrend. We have the market pretty much moving the same, right? So this is just a pullback that we are in. We're going to go down to the 4H, and this is where things becomes very interesting. So here, yes, we still have price just trading to the downside, but you can clearly see the market is trying to make, this corrective pattern to the upside. We are creating higher highs and higher lows to the upside, right? So this is a zone that I just want to take a look at, right? This previous level of resistance or supply somewhere here. I just want to see what the market will do, approaching this level. I always say on this channel, whenever we are trading, we have a support or resistance level. The most important thing is how the market gets there or what we do when the market gets there. So looking at the price action, how market is moving towards that direction, you are very corrective, right? The market is very, very corrective, very sideways, and this could be a pattern that could literally just push the market to the downside. This was the news. You can see how the market dropped after the news release. We are currently trading to the upside. The candle just popped up, we pop back up, and then you can see this the candle, the most recent candle. But this was the news release, and prior to the news release, this was just the analysis. We had price trading to the upside, creating higher highs and higher lows. Then you had this corrective phase, a push to the upside. This is where we were looking to get an entry, but the news came very fast, and then we had the market dropping, and then we moved back up, right? So I'm just going to briefly just talk about this structure. This is going to be our main focus or agenda for this video, talking about how to catch reversals, literally, right? So the main goal is to trade with a trend, but there are some patterns in the market once seen on the chart indicate that the market is going to drop, and how can we actually capitalize on that? That's what I want us to speak on. Okay, so this is DXY, which means the opposite is going to happen on Euro USD, right? So there's a rising wedge pattern when seen on the chart indicates that the market is going to drop. We're going to talk about divergence, all right? So for those of you who don't know divergence, we're going to use this indicator called this RSI. You have the RSI, we have the MACD as well, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to use the RSI. So that is where we have RSI just going in a different direction. For example, we have market creating higher highs and higher lows. You can clearly see this is the high, the market. But when we pull up the RSI, we have price just going in a different direction, right? So we have the market creating these lows, the downside, but on the actual chart, we have price creating highs. So we have highs here, we have lows here. You can see you're going in a different direction, right? So this divergence. When we see this correlation and we see the market structure creating these highs and the RSI creating these lows, is an indication that price is going to drop. So we want to see what the market is going to do there. So on Euro USD and the daily time frame, we are just on an uptrend. We have higher highs and higher low, break of structure, higher high, higher low, and price is currently pulling back. So we are in a pullback phase, just as the DXY. Yeah, and then we have price correctively creating lower lows and lower highs. We are just breaking structures to the downside. Have this level as well, of which I use the Fibonacci from this low to this high, and then we are clearly in an area of value that is my 0.71 and 0.79 zone, which also correlates with this previous level of resistance. So this was a resistance, and that's where we are trading at. So I just want to see what price will do at that support. Are we going to push to the upside, or price is literally just going to continue trading, low? We're still going to continue breaking low. So this is what I want to see. But carefully analyzing the market, I can clearly see that we are moving very corrective towards this support, right? So we have the market creating these lower lows, right? We have a lower low. That's going to pull up the RSI and clearly see that we are creating highs right here, right? So there's a higher low, whereas we are creating lower lows. So once we see this opposite movement with the price action and the RSI, this tells us that we have a divergence, which means price is likely to just push to the upside. So this is the first sign that we just want to, take note, with this RSI divergence that I'm teaching you today. Yeah, so with an entry, it's just gonna be the break of these highs because we clearly have a downtrend, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We have not broken above these lows. We have not broken above this high as well. So the very moment we break above this high, this will be a very nice area for us to be looking for longs on this, paired. But until then, we're just gonna be very patient because we clearly know that we're on a downtrend. The market has been trading to the downside for a while now, and we are now trading an area of value. So we're just gonna see what the market will do here, right? So until then, just be very patient, wait for proper shifts, then you go in for longs, all right? On the daily time frame, yes, we're on an uptrend. I can clearly see there's a high and a low, break of structure, we have a new high, we have a new low, break of structure. So this is the low, this is the high, and then we have price pulling back, right? So yes, we are on an uptrend until this low gets broken, right? So there's still a pullback. We can still be looking for selling opportunities on the lower time frames, but on the daily, this is, just a pullback until we break this low. So for the daily, if we break below this level, then I'm looking for shorts. On the 4H time frame, we are clearly on a downtrend where price just creating lower lows and lower highs. So two things, it's either price will just continue trading to the downside by coming all the way to tap into this level before and move to the upside. I cannot really tell you what the market is going to do because I don't predict the market, right? We just follow the market, right? So literally we have price dropping. We are still on a downtrend. We had a correction phase right here, right? Price can literally just, break this low and continue trading to the downside, maybe tapping into the zone. If we get any structural change, then we can probably push to the upside. If not, then the very moment we break below these levels, we can expect market to go down. All right. So let's focus on gold with the divergence that I just spoke about. So with gold, the market is very choppy. We have been in this range for a while now. There's just a range. We don't know whether the market is going up or down. It's very, very choppy. All right. So we're just going to focus on these areas. So on the 4H structure, we had market creating lower lows and lower highs somewhere here. And then yes, price shot up. We broke this previous high and we started pulling back. So this was an impulsive move. Then we had a corrective phase as well, right? So this was the impulse, this was the correction, and then currently we have price breaking these highs, right? So this is the structure now. At a lower low, lower high, lower low, same highs, lower low, and then we currently have price breaking a previous high. So this could be a retest for a move to at least the next high or even higher, right? This is where gold is trading right now. So on the 1H, pretty much the same. So we had this break right here. The retest, we had a double bottom structure on the support level, break of the neckline. We had a breakout, price currently pulling back. There's the news, right? We had a move to a downside. So are we expecting gold to push to the upside or pretty much just trade around these regions, right? Something that we have to also, be very patient and see the price actions on the lower time frame. So on the 15 minutes or even on the 5 minutes, if we see any structural change somewhere here, we can also be looking forward to get this move to the up direction, all right? But now, take a look at the examples of the divergence on gold, right? The first one we're going to look at is this level, this area. So let me just mark up this area, then let's go on the lower time frame. Right, during the pullback phase, we have prices creating lower lows, lower high, we broke the structure, lower low, right? So right here, right, you can clearly see we had the market moving, sideways. This was a falling wedge pattern, right? So we had the market dropping impulsively and we started moving very corrective, right? You can clearly see that. So we were creating lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. If I pull the fib out, the RSI, right? You can see we were also creating highs on this level, right? It's a higher low, higher low, higher low. Whereas on the price action, on the market structure, on the chart, we were just creating lower lows, right? So this is just a divergence on the chart. But the very moment we see this, there's a clear indication that we could just have market or price just pushing to the upside, right? So what you want to do, you want to correlate this level to a resistance or a support level in the past. Like for example, to take a look at this trade that was taken, took this trade actually, combine it with a major level, right? So if you look to my left, this was a strong level of resistance, support, support. I can drag it back and you'll clearly see that this was a very strong level of support. So seeing this price action on top of a support with a divergence, these are confirmations that tells you that, price will just move to the opposite direction. So you want to combine these structures and strategies that I'm teaching you with price action and areas of value. You just don't want to trade divergence in just a random place, right? If you take a look at this second one as well, price dropped impulsively. And then what did we have? We had the same thing. So we had the lower low, lower low, lower low. Right here, we had price just moving to the upside, right? Telling us that, hey, we are going in two different directions, which means price is likely to reverse. And that's exactly what price did. So the same thing that played out here with the same entry model, with the same strategy, that is the same thing that you could have applied here as well. You take this trade to the upside, right? Let me give you an example on an uptrend, right? So with this uptrend, you can clearly see also that we were just trading to the upside. The market moved impulsively towards these areas. And then we had higher high, and a new higher high. You can also correlate this with an area of value as well. With this was the opposite of what I just taught you, right? If I flip it, this is the falling wedge. If I flip it back, this is the rising wedge. So literally just supporting the divergence on an uptrend. So here we had a high, we had a high. If I pull out the divergence, just take a look at what happened. Here we had a low, right? I put a case out here, you can see this high, created a new high, but here we created a new low. Just by seeing this, it's an indication that tells you that, hey, price might be dropping. So this is a divergence as well. The next example is right here, right? So we're creating higher highs and higher lows. We go to an area of value where price started correcting. We had a very strong impulsive corrective phase. This is a rising wedge as well. We had a high, a new high, whereas on the RSI, we had a high and then a low. This is a divergence telling you that price is going to drop. So I can go on and on and on and show you multiple examples of the divergence on the chart. But, these are the few I'm just going to show you. So with what is happening on the chart currently, you can just apply the divergence if possible with market structure, with areas of value like what we are seeing on Euro USD. If this happens, then of course you can apply this area of value with the divergence and also the RSI, right? The same thing that is happening on DXY is just opposite of Euro USD, all right? So in this lesson or in this analysis, nothing much is really happening. We had CPI currently, just want to wait for the market to cool down and then you see how the market will shape up. So I hope you learned something from this video with the RSI and the divergence as well. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like and share this video because I will be dropping more of these videos that will help you scale up in your trading journey. All right. It's I, the greatest here. Thanks for watching. Peace.